and in my opinion, this is one of the most interesting groups of superheroes in all of Marvel Comics. What's up guys, welcome back to Superhero Legacy. My name is Liam, and in today's video I want to talk about one of the most fascinating Marvel teams, and that is going to be the Illuminati. For those of you who don't know a lot about them, the Illuminati is like this covert group of extremely capable and influential figures in the Marvel Universe who are dedicated to making the hard decisions. The members consist of individuals who are not only wildly intelligent, but who also offer a unique set of skills to the team. First we have Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme and the Master of Mystic Arts. Then we have Reed Richards, the leader of the Fantastic Four and one of the brightest scientific minds in the entire Marvel Universe. We also have Charles Xavier, the founding member of the X-Men and an extremely powerful telepath. We got Iron Man, the leader of the Avengers and also one of the smartest beings on Earth. We got Black Bolt, the king of the Inhumans. We got Namor, the king of Atlantis. And then of course we got Black Panther, the king of Wakanda. Like, what a team, man. They pack a tremendous amount of power, intelligence, and leadership. Like, there was this awesome moment during the Secret Invasion comic where the Illuminati shows up on like the biggest Skrull warship and warns them against an attack on Earth. But when the Skrulls refuse to comply, Charles Xavier asks Black Bolt, "What do you have to say about this?" And dude, he decimates the entire warship with ease, and Doctor Strange kind of teleports them off the ship immediately, and oh, it's so good. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Collectively, this team possesses so much raw power, but that's not the main reason why I love the Illuminati. The real reason why I think the Illuminati is so interesting and so compelling to me is because of what they stand for and how they originated. In the comics, the team was initiated after the unforeseen consequences of the Kree-Skrull War. The heroes of Earth were ill-equipped to defend themselves, and they were remarkably unprepared. The individuals that I mentioned earlier would then convene and discuss a solution that would place the Earth in a safer position and with a more strategic plan against any future attacks. One of the topics of conversation was the lack of cohesion within all of the superhero groups on the planet. Like, there was the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, and every other team in between, but they were all running around doing their own thing and they were operating as their own independent factions. There was no coherent structure, and at the end of the day, that was their downfall during the Kree-Skrull War. So their idea was to unite all of these superhero groups together and work as a collective unit, but it's easier said than done, and I think even Namor mentions the difficulty of such a task. How would they effectively ban so many people and who have had no past experience working with one another under a single governing body? Like, it's just not possible, and Namor has a fair point. Doctor Strange would then say that it might not be possible to join everyone together, but if at least they could unite the leaders of these groups, then that might be a more feasible option. They also elected to have the team kind of be a secret. They would operate from within the shadows and no one could know what they were up to. Anyway, that was a brief overview of how the Illuminati came to be, so now I'm going to talk about what they represent, and for me, this is the most fascinating part about them. As I mentioned before, this team contains some of the biggest powerhouses and some of the greatest minds on the planet, but all of that is superficial to what they actually stand for. The purpose of the Illuminati is to make the decisions that no other person could ever make, and if you look at the entire roster of the Illuminati, all of them have that one thing in common: the ability to look at the big picture, to make sacrifices, and to have the courage to do what no one else would do for the safety of the Earth. In my mind, there really are two different categories that superheroes fall into. There are the heroes that will do everything in their power to save everyone no matter what, who are committed to the protection of all and who are driven by their overwhelmingly moral righteousness to do the right thing. Characters like Spider-Man, Captain America, The Flash, Superman, those are the best examples of these heroes. And then there are the heroes who think more pragmatically and see that sometimes sacrifices must be made, sides must be taken, and hard problems must be met with hard decisions. These characters include Batman and pretty much every member of the Illuminati. If you think about it, most leaders fall on this side because they know the true duty that comes with protecting the people that they lead over. That's why Namor, Black Bolt, and Black Panther are on this team, because they're all kings and they know this aspect of leadership. That's why the leader of the X-Men, the leader of the Fantastic Four, and the leader of the Avengers are on this team, because they all get it too. I love and deeply respect the characters who will always do the right thing and will always try to attempt to save everyone. And sometimes that's the best part about them. These are the characters characters that are most heroic, but the lines of moral ambiguity are gray and they're not always clearly defined, and sometimes you'll find yourself in the middle of a tough conflict. I love Spider-Man, but he's never been the one to sacrifice another life. He just isn't. We have even seen multiple Spider-Man movies where this is the case. In No Way Home, Peter cannot sacrifice the lives of the villains even if it means putting the rest of the multiverse in danger. And across the Spider-Verse, Miles can't not save his father even if it means collapsing all the other worlds out there. This is kind of the beauty of Spider-Man, and I deeply value his ability to want to save everyone, but sometimes the world isn't nice.
Miles, the hardest thing about this job is you can't always save everybody.
Sometimes situations present themselves where you are forced to choose and make a decision, and that's why the Illuminati exists. It's an oversimplified way to look at it because there are the more complex characters that kind of fall in between, but the point still remains. The Illuminati is full of members who can make these hard choices. In fact, in Jonathan Hickman's Avengers run, Captain America joins the team, and while all of these other universes were cursing and being destroyed, the Illuminati kind of came to the solution that they would have to eradicate all the other universes for theirs to live. And if you know Steve Rogers, then you know that he was not okay with this. Steve never should have been on the Illuminati, and Jonathan Hickman makes that clear. His moral code just literally doesn't allow him to do this. And so what does the team do? Doctor Strange wipes his mind and they throw him out. Oh man, it was such a big moment, and for the rest of Jonathan Hickman's run, Steve is like hell-bent on taking the Illuminati down, but he just can't compete with them because they're always a step ahead of him, and Steve just isn't as smart as they are. Anyway, this is the primary reason why I'm so fascinated with this group. Not only are they these super influential beings from all of the main parts of the Marvel Universe who come together and work to solve these grandiose problems, but they also just can make these decisions, and that's kind of the reason why they're so secretive. The world wouldn't be okay with what they're doing, but they have to be the ones to do it. As much as I hate to admit it, sometimes I believe that we need people like this. We will inevitably be faced with challenges that make us feel torn, and we need people who have the strength to act confidently in moments like these and to do what no one else will do. Now, while I love the Illuminati, I have to say that they kind of create more problems than they actually solve. I'm just being honest here. They had a pretty significant role within the Civil War event and in the World War Hulk event. Hell, the Illuminati kind of started the World War Hulk event. They got together and decided that it was in the planet's best interest to shoot the Hulk into outer space without any explanation to him, just to avoid another unpredictable rampage. You can see that the Illuminati has the best interest of Earth at heart, but they don't always do the right thing. This team makes a lot of mistakes. Sometimes they become morally blinded, and sometimes they become a problem themselves. The fault in the Illuminati is that they have elected themselves as the sole secretive leaders that are the voice of the entire planet, and while yes, they are smart and might be the best people equipped to solving these tough problems and making these hard choices, they shouldn't be able to operate without any restrictions. That's why we need those characters like Spider-Man and Superman to keep them in check and to hold them accountable. I would love to see the Illuminati in the MCU, and the one that we got in Multiverse of Madness was a pretty pathetic and disappointing attempt, and I think it failed to capture the intricacies of this group. Also, this team is way too powerful to be killed off in a matter of seconds. I would have loved to see the Illuminati in the main MCU timeline that would have consisted of Tony Stark, T'Challa, Namor, Doctor Strange, maybe Hank Pym, and maybe even Reed Richards, Charles Xavier, and Black Bolt, even though we don't have them yet. But for obvious reasons, I don't see that ever happening. I don't know, guys. Let me know if you like the Illuminati and if you find them as interesting as I do. I always love the concept of the team more than the actual team itself, but they are pretty cool. But with all of this said, I'm going to end the video right here. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. Please like and subscribe for more superhero content and share your thoughts on the Illuminati down in the comments below. You can find some of my other videos right over here, but for now, thank you so much for watching and stay super.